Hi everybody. So I wanted to review some things. We'll take a look at the market, but also some key principles. Sometimes it's best to get to the basics and just understanding supply and demand in the market, and because this is what we look at when we're reading, quote unquote, reading the market. All right. So these are just some basic guidelines for the supply and demand in the market. And this is available online. If you look up basically Wyckoff supply and demand, you'll find some links that talk about this. So for demand, how do we know there's demand? When there's rally on increased price and increased volume. And I'll give you real examples of all of this, so just relax. So, this is rally on increased price and volume. So that's the obvious case, right? You have a big bar with big volume. So I just call it ease of movement, where it all makes sense. Money comes in, price goes up. That's it. Obvious. And demand is also on the pullback. Right? This is on the way up because it's a rally, demand on the rally. But what about demand on the pullback? So how you know this is it reacts on decreased spread and increased volume. So this is also very easy. It's effort reward. Yeah, effort reward is basically a pullback on a lot of volume. All right, so it pulls back. There's a lot of volume, but there's not a lot of price movement, which is an indication of effort reward. Anyway, so the next is supply. It's the same concept of ease of movement, which means it goes down on big price, big volume, or it rallies on big volume but not a lot of price. It's the same thing as effort reward. All right, now you understand, demand and supply, how they express themselves using price and volume. It's basically ease of movement and effort reward. Ease of movement being big price, big volume, and the other is effort reward. So, all right, next is lack of demand. You can guess it. You have lack of demand is when it rallies on little move, little bar, little volume. All right. So imagine a green bar that's small and that has very little volume. All right. That's really lack of demand. But what about when it pulls back? This is on the way up because it says rally. What about when it pulls back? When it reacts on increased price and reduced volume. All right. That means there's no demand below. So lack of demand on the way up is a little bar, little volume. Lack of demand on the way down is a big bar, little volume, which means that a little volume can do a lot of damage. Actually, this is also a type of ease of movement because it just means that I don't need a lot of volume to push price down a lot. All right. So I'll just call this another version of ease of movement that it does not require high volume. And this is the obvious one, right? The small bar. Let's just call small bar, small wave. So just call it a small move, just small. Yeah, everything's little bar, little volume. The same thing here. Lack of overhead supply means you got a big bar. If it rallies, there's also ease of movement. There's a big bar with little volume. Why is this important? It means a little volume can easily push price. Easily push price. All right, very important. Lack of supply means I don't need a lot of money in order for supply to go up. Why? Because there's no overhead orders. There's no limit orders overhead. So it's just like nothing there. in terms of liquidity, it would be there's no liquidity up there. It just goes straight up. Yeah, find some bars over here. Anyway, lack of supply on the way down is a little, smaller little pullback. All right, so this is how price expresses itself. Typically during a trend break, meaning let's say the market is pulling back and you have a reversal, right? A trend break, which means a reversal on the way up, you must have this. You must have this expression of demand. This is your change of behavior, or you can call it whatever else, sign of strength or whatever. You must have this. So if the market rallies, pulls back, on the pullback, if you go to a lower time frame, you're going to have something like bang, like that, with a rally on increased price spread and volume. All that means is that money's coming in and pushing price up. And then in the background, you might have this effort reward situation as well. Okay? But this is what you need. All right? So let's just take a look at some practical examples. So, where is this? This was euro. I think it was euro. You could see very clearly demand detected here, demand detected here. If I wanted to buy this, right, I'm looking for big price, big volume on the way up. So it's going down, right? It's going down, 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 down. So what I need to do is find, and I don't know where to look. All right, so we'll just look here. All right, so it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. This is my first indication of demand. See this? Why? Why is this demand? So if I want to buy a pullback, I'm looking for demand. And even if there is demand, I'm not, just going to go in there and, buy like a dummy. I'm taking a look at things. So let's. I can't find anything. What time is it? 7:30 on 6/6. All right. This is it. Somewhere in this area. Also, I've come to the opinion that both the wave chart and this type of chart need to be combined and used together, because many times one is not enough, or one will give you a delayed signal. So for clarity and for identification, both are required, not optional. All right. Wyckoff used both, by the way. Anyway, so this pullback is happening right here on the euro, and here we have a signature of demand because of increased price. You could see here, and increased volume right here. Now, is there some? Now the other one was effort reward. There's some effort reward here. Right, so that's indication of demand as well, but I want this. And you can see when it pulls back, we have small price, increased volume, that's also demand. Small price, because you can tell by little gray, a lot of volume is demand. So that means it's also effort reward, and bang. All right, now a couple of when we go here, you have an indication of the biggest in 17, right? Biggest in 17, I don't know, this is also pretty big too. So we have indication of demand here. There's also some indication of demand up here. This one, this one is, I think, more clearer. This one, to some degree. All right, so price pulls back and goes up. And this was the final one. There's a lot of, I don't know if this is accumulation or something, or something's going on. But I'm just trying to show you the rule, all right, that they have. So the other one was, if I'm still looking, then around 10 something, this is the clearest one. I think because it's the biggest in 28, big price, big volume, bang, right up here. It's very clear. This is demand. All right. Now, typically, once I see demand, I want it in. But sometimes you want to wait for the other rule to kick in. Let's go to it, which is lack of supply, meaning after demand, what you're supposed to do is wait for a lack of supply. Lack of supply means that it reacts on reduced price and reduced volume. All right. I actually think you see, there's two things to note here. When it pulls back, two scenarios can occur in bullish scenarios. One is lack of supply, which reacts on reduced price spread and reduced volume. But the other is an increase in demand, which is when it reacts on reduced price or decreased price and increased volume. Both are bullish. So what does that mean? It means that the common thing between them is decreased price. All you need is decreased price. All you need is decreased price or reduced price. If the volume is less, it's bullish because it's a lack of supply. If the volume is heavy, it's also bullish because it's effort reward. So in either case, it's bullish. Either you're going to get a lack of supply or you're going to get effort reward on the pullback. So all you really need is decreased price, because if it's a lot of volume, it's bullish, effort reward scenario, and if it's less volume, it's bullish, lack of supply scenario. The scenario we get here is this is small volume, smaller than the reds, and this is very little price spread. So this is lack of supply. In the other situations, probably this one, this is an extreme case, but you can see here that this one is very, very heavy, but it cannot break through. It cannot break through. This is the effort reward, which is also bullish, because you have a massive amount of volume, even more than the demand, but the spread decreases, right? So because the spread decreases, it would be effort reward. It's not a lack of supply, it's actually demand, increased demand. The one after it, though, is your lack of supply. This one, this red here, is when you have small and small price and volume. So this would be a lack of supply. Now, because a lot of these things can be done with signals, I'm going to bring the signal in and you'll see. Now I brought in the signal, and now you can see that the lack of supply, I just call it springboard because that's what it is. The lack of the drying up of supply right here is your springboard, and your here situation when you have a small what is it, small bar with small volume. It's also springboard. All right, this one here is actually effort reward, which is also bullish. Both cases are set up the springboard. This one here is also springboard. Why? Because it's small. If it's a small red bar, whether you have high volume or low volume, it's bullish. So it's a bullish springboard. If it is low volume and decreased spread, it is a lack of supply. If it is high volume, decreased spread, it is effort reward. Both are bullish. So this situation is, first you have demand as indicated by rally on increased price spread and increased volume, followed by this situation where you have decreased spread with a lot of volume. This is biggest in 13. It doesn't look it, but it is. And biggest in 13 red bars. And we see that that fits the second definition where it reacts on decreased spread and increased volume, decreased spread and increased volume. So bullish springboard. The other situation, well, we'll take a look at this second springboard here. What is it? Well, first we have demand on increased price spread and volume, and then the second one is a lack of supply because it reacts on reduced price and reduced volume. Bullish. All right. So the situation is pretty clear. We don't really care when looking for the pullback at whether it's a big volume or little volume. The bullish situation just needs small price, a small red bar or small red wave like that, or like that, telling you bullish. If it's less volume, it's lack of supply. If it's increased volume, it's demand. All right, so we've gone through this, and that's about it. This is initially where demand came in, right here, on the way up. And what would this be? This red bar with no volume, that would be a lack of supply. This is more demand. This first pullback would be effort reward. Why? Because more volume, didn't break the low, holding, effort reward, demand expression, followed by lack of supply. Why? Because small bar, small volume, bullish leads to a rise. Same here, big bar, big volume, demand, lack of supply. How will it show itself? Small bar, small volume. Since the volume is increasing, it's effort. Both situations, bullish. Bang. All right, so this is how you're reading supply and demand using those rules. The key is identifying the demand first, then looking for the bullish pullback to see which it fits. Is it going to be demand, effort reward, or is it going to be lack of supply? Both have reduced price spread. All right, everybody, I think I've explained this and given you an example using these. This is from Wyckoff. I think SMI. It's online. All right, take care.